Yo, yo, yo! Welcome back to the channel. Different video. This is the MCU View.
I am Marlon.
That's Los&Bane. I don't know why he called himself Marlon.
Look, but check this out. We're gonna share this space now.
Okay, you still Mr. Bane.
So, no, I'm just Marlon. What we doing here today, man?
Man, we're here to talk about the MCU. Thus the name, the MCU View.
I love that name, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
Good job on that. But yeah, man. Look, so much stuff is happening. We got trailer spots dropping. Multiverse of Madness comes out. It's exactly a month from now. Less than a month by the time this drops.
Yeah.
And man, everything is changing.
It's true.
Everything is changing.
Where do you want to start today?
Oh man, I think we got to go back to where the stuff changed. Where the stuff started changing is when 2012 Loki stole the Tesseract and just
shit! Like when you said, I was like, what are you talking about? Wait, you talking about
when that variant of that time's Loki stole the Tesseract and
I actually forgot that he was the Loki in the series. Mm-hmm. Damn. That's crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. Yeah,
man, was that open up a whole can of worms?
It did. It opened up a lot of stuff. It really, that was the first time, the uses of the Time Stone and the usage of the Eye of Agamotto like have toyed with time before, but the series Loki is the first time we really got into what time means in the MCU.
Yeah, the fact that it was like a fixed timeline.
Right. So it's like, and when I first heard about it and when I first thought about it, I was like, wait, so does that mean that literally everything that we watched so far just kind of didn't matter because it was all predetermined to happen, so those outcomes would have happened anyways?
I don't think so, but it's like whenever it's like, yeah, that had to happen. Mm-hmm. But also, because that happened, things are going to break off. Right. As in, like, it was maybe up to a point, it didn't matter. Mm-hmm. But I think somewhere along the way, it was like something happened that usually doesn't.
Right.
Even before we get to Loki doing that thing.
Probably.
Maybe it's even before Infinity War. Or like maybe the original outcome is that they actually just lose. Maybe they don't go back in time.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, I didn't even think about it like that. Because something had to happen to set off the events that happened in Loki, which set off like the ending of all the fixed time periods, right? So yeah, I never thought about it like that.
What if the main timeline is the youngest timeline? Where, not the youngest, so to speak, but the actual MCU, like that we have, it popped off later than all the other timelines with all the powers and stuff.
Right.
So because it popped off later than all the other ones, old buddy, at the end, Nathaniel Richards, like he was already at the end of his rope, and this was just the last timeline, and he was losing control.
I didn't think about it like that. Like with every timeline, things got more and more out of control until this one. It was just like, well, this is it. Man, that was a crazy cameo though, right?
Hey, he smoked that.
He did. That was amazing. Man, that was our first time seeing a Richards character in the cinematic universe.
Yeah.
So many famous Richards. Nathaniel Richards is, as we know, he's Kang or Immortus or He Who Remains, whoever that variant of him wants to be at that time.
And I'm gonna back up a little bit, because I guess it was up to him on whether or not he was going to stop them from going back in time.
That's true.
Because they went back in time and, like, sure, they put the stones back and everything, but they still messed up with that Loki And there weren't any repercussions for them.
And you know, for them in Endgame, for them to be as careful as they were about sending stones back exactly where they took them from, that oversight was kind of weird. The Loki one, but at the same time, what could they really have done about it though?
He was gone. There was no finding, buddy.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, man, because you know Tony Stark though. Just to go back to the whole "He Who Remains" King thing, Tony Stark was such a savant while he was alive in the MCU, because it's almost like he predicted that there was a TVA, because he was like, you know, when you mess with time, it tends to mess back. And it was his idea to put everything back in the past the way it was, so things wouldn't like break all the way.
Oh yeah, because Doctor Strange was snapped away.
Yeah.
So they was Wong even there? Did he get snapped away too?
I don't think Wong was there.
No, Wong was there because he became the Sorcerer Supreme.
Right, but I don't know if he was in the facility.
No, he wasn't there when they were talking about it.
So it's like Tony was almost like prophetic in seeing there might be something behind time that we don't want to mess with, so let's try to fix everything back the way it was.
Yeah.
After we get,
because there's one thing to be like afraid of time, but it's another thing to be like, we have to make sure everything is the exact same or something's gonna happen.
Right. So he was like, and like he was right. Like when you do stuff like that, those are the things that make the TVA come and like wipe away your timeline. And
then if they don't, that timeline splits off and it causes more splinters within the time stream.
So like he saw that, like he called that. And you know, it's like there was a lot said in game about time, but we didn't hear everything that they researched and found out about the microverse.
Oh yeah.
About going subatomic. We only found out that you could travel through time when you're that small.
You know, I actually forgot that aspect of the time travel. Using the quantum realm.
Yeah, using the quantum realm. There we go. That's the word I was looking for, the quantum realm.
Yeah, the microverse is supposed to be in the quantum realm. Yeah.
So we didn't really find out much about the research they did, other than that they found out that you could pass time through you, or you could go through time while you're in the quantum realm. So there's no telling what Tony Stark saw when he was in the quantum realm.
Oh, didn't think about that. There's a lot I didn't think about.
Yeah, and then there's also the theories about like some of the structures that we saw when Ant-Man was there was actually the TVA.
Oh shit!
There's theories about that as well.
Huh?
Yeah. There's just a lot of stuff, man. When they introduced time into the MCU, man, time and multiverses and how they kind of go hand in hand, it really changed everything. And then like from that point on, like every type of media, I'm not gonna say every type of media, because there was some grounded stuff like Hawkeye and Black Widow, but like all of the big shows and the big movies have something to do with something happening big enough to affect the multiverse, or something happening in time, whether it be Shang-Chi's usage of the rings, like shaking the universe.
So Shang-Chi has to happen before Eternals.
Right.
Because if what happened in Eternals didn't show up on any power scale thing, I think Arishem made the rings, or some type of celestial, or maybe a high level eternal.
You know, that would make sense. It might be. Well, one of them was actually an inventor.
Oh yeah, Paperboy.
It was Paperboy. You know,
What's his name?
Paperboy the Eternal. That's his name.
Paperboy the Eternal. Was it Brandon Tyree Henry? Is that his name? Oh man.
Yeah, but so it might have been one of the Eternals or Celestial. I don't know. But I really want to know more of what that's about. Because we found out later on that Wong is actually the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, that was a nice catch because I didn't even think about that. It was like you were gone for 5 years. Like, oh shit.
Right. So like when Shang-Chi was meeting with Wong, he was meeting with the acting Sorcerer Supreme and a group of Avengers.
Yeah. So
like for something to happen on a scale enough for it to like tip them off, like, you know, has to be really big. But like you say, it has to be before Eternals because there's like the Earth almost exploded. Like there is an Eternal that was coming out of the Earth. So they definitely would have had to feel that as well.
Oh yeah. Remember we were talking one day and you think that it's going to end up being
one of the mutant
what is it called? It's not Genosha. Not Genosha. It's the Krakoa.
Krakoa, yeah. Because of the horn, like his like horn coming out of the, and you know how like every like mutant like homeland is always like set off by these like big weird rocky figures. So it just seems like a place where that would happen at. And it might even, because of all of the energy that they were talking about was radiating through there because of him being born, it might even be a place that like spurred on the evolution of what mutants become.
And like that's just like their energy or whatever they did is what like spliced the human DNA on Earth anyways with the Celestials tampering with stuff and basically using the whole planet as a science experiment.
Right. Celestials, you know, and I feel like it was one of those big movies in that event because of that, because I do think that that's going to have something to do with mutants. And just because of like the history of like us knowing about the comic book history of Eternals and how that leads into mutants or how that leads to the human genes like changing and the deviants and all that and yada yada yada. So I do think that's important for the future of the MCU, especially with like the impending like entrance of mutants and whatever. But even other than that, like just seeing stuff happen on that big of a scale, and then you know like Arishem is about to judge Earth.
Yeah. So,
yeah, man, and that, you know, the thing that Marvel does, the thing that Marvel always gets right, and I don't know if it's because of planning or if they just have people who can look at other people's visions and be like, okay, I see where we can go next from this movie. Right. But the thing that they always get right is that they can make things fit together to come into a single story. So I feel like they're gonna do a really good job of mixing in Eternals with the stuff that's happening with the multiverse and time and all of that. But I just really want to see how they're gonna do it. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, because they're looking for the ones that Arishem took. So they're looking for them. Are they gonna run into the Guardians of the Galaxy? Are they gonna run into Thor?
Yeah.
So that's a whole. There's so much shit coming.
Thor: Love and Thunder trailer has not come out yet.
It has not.
And that movie comes out when? Is it July?
Let's find out. Because I know stuff got pushed back. It says 2022 July?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, we like, I feel like we might get that opening trailer like when Doctor Strange
post-credit scene.
It might be the first post-credit scene. Like how Multiverse of Madness was the post-credit scene for Spider-Man. They might start doing it like that now. But yeah.
It saves them from having to do 2 post-credit scenes, like filming it all the time.
Yeah, that is true. And you know, I felt like Spider-Man's trailer was late, and I kind of felt like Multiverse of Madness trailer was a little bit late. So I think that would be a good time for it to come out. But
I like that the trailers are coming out later
for sure.
That means I don't have to wait as long.
That is true. But man, it seems like they're about to get into this phase of just like pushing them out now, just like back to back to back.
Yeah, because that's only 2 months apart.
Mm-hmm. And we didn't get Spider-Man that long ago.
December.
Yeah. So we got that Spider-Man right into Multiverse of Madness, which is going really right into Thor because that's only going to be 2 months. 2 months. So yeah, Marvel does like to have the like.
And before that, it was you had Shang-Chi, Eternals, and then Spider-Man back to back to back.
Yeah, Marvel likes to have the summer lockdown though. That's one thing I will say about them. But man, so much happening all at one time. So
speaking of so much happening all at one time, do we agree, whatever the word we want to use, that what happened at the end of the Loki TV series was happening in tandem with WandaVision?
Okay.
Was there something else happening? I don't remember.
The Loki TV show, WandaVision, maybe the spell coming apart in Spider-Man.
All of it just happened and all that, just one specific point, just...
Yeah. Because we don't... So the thing we see in the trailer that we don't know it for sure in the movie, we see that Doctor Strange knows about
what happened
Westview in the trailer, but we don't hear about it in the movie. And I think if we did hear about it in the movie, because of the danger of what happened, then Doctor Strange would not have wanted to do that spell for Peter. So I'm thinking he didn't find out. Either that was happening at the... Well, not either, but that was happening at the same time, and he found out about it afterwards, which is why he went to her. He's like, oh, we're kind of both in trouble here. Let's go brainstorm. Okay. So I do think there's going to be like this point, this fixed point where everything is happening all at the same time with the Loki variant killing Immortus, or He Who Remains, or whatever you want to call him, and WandaVision. I called her WandaVision. Wanda going full Scarlet Witch, and maybe even Spider-Man's spell breaking the multiverse. And there might be more things all happening at the same time that we just don't know about.
It's true.
I don't know. I like the theory because, like, with the two shows, like when you line them up.
Oh yeah, they
actually happen at the same time in like the reel of the show. So I think that's pretty cool.
You can look at it two different ways. Out of all that happened at the same time and it shattered the multiverse, or that happened and it weakened it, and then the spell shattered it.
Okay, I could see that too. Yeah, I could definitely see.
Then even with Eternals, what if that was happening on the other side of the planet type thing, and that caused more energy, mystical energy, to be reverberating throughout the planet?
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of stuff going on at one time.
Yeah.
I wonder what the end of all of this is going to be, man.
Well, we're getting Kang.
Yeah.
But what if Kang isn't even the overarching villain? What if he actually has to help them?
That's true. He could, because Kang is going to be introduced as Kang in the next Ant-Man movie.
Quantumania, I think it's called.
Or at least that's what they say. That's what Kevin Feige announced on that panel.
Yeah.
But so it was really surprising to see Jonathan Majors in Loki. Well, not really surprising because I had heard that he was going to be on there.
I didn't hear a thing. I was completely and utterly surprised. It was a very nice surprise.
Man, he was so good though. Like I could spend a whole episode talking about like how seeing him being that character made me feel.
I got hype.
Yeah.
I got out my seat. I was like, ain't no way. He was acting his ass off, man.
He really was. Man.
Do you think... All right, so there's Kang. We know that somewhere down this timeline, a Richard must exist. And his big thing is Galactus. Do you think Arishem is just going to double as Galactus?
Look, I hope that we act, because someone as iconic as Galactus, I think we need to see him as a Galactus.
I do too.
Because what we were the main thing that we were robbed of by that Fantastic Four movie was seeing a real Galactus.
That fucking cloud bullshit.
That cloud. So like Marvel, what they do is they take the fucked up things from Marvel entities past and they make it into a good thing. So I'm really hoping that they get to do a Galactus proper. I'm not gonna be terribly upset if Arishem just is the MCU's like Galactus character, but
I don't think he should though.
I don't
because he's judging planets to be like destroyed or not. Well, I guess to rebirth or birth a celestial, but and that's a balanced thing. But like Galactus, he's balancing the universe. It's just like his thing he's supposed to do because somehow he survived the destruction of his universe, and everything just swarmed into him. Insane,
crazy. But wouldn't it be really cool if like in Eternals 2 they lose and Arishem is like about to destroy the planet and then like Galactus just like shows up bigger behind him.
Behind Arishem is crazy.
And like eats Arishem or something.
Okay. That's a little wonky, but
I mean he be eating shit. that's what he do, bro.
Instead of eating Earth, he just eats Arishem.
And then he just leaves. Like he
doesn't even say anything.
Like he was gonna come eat Earth, but Arishem was like bigger and more powerful. So he just
sustained him for a while.
Yeah. He's like, fuck it, I'm out. Like, I got what I came for.
Man. I have no idea what to talk about next.
We didn't really get into. We talked about Shang-Chi. We talked about Eternals. We didn't really get into Spider-Man. The implications of what happened in Spider-Man.
They somehow did a 3-movie arc for origin story.
Yeah.
And he is set back to zero. He no longer has any help. So he's like the Spider-Man we grew up with.
He's literally like Peter Parker year 1.
Yeah.
Right now.
He still has the experience, but he doesn't have the gadgets.
Nope.
Can't just call up the Avengers.
Nobody knows who he is. I did hear an interesting theory about that. Okay. So in the movie, they made a big point of pointing out when Wong said, I don't care what you do, just leave me out of this.
So maybe Wong is actually left out of that
the spell that forgets Peter Parker. And another thing is that I was reading that it's kind of like when we play Marvel Contest of Champions, how science like beats out Mystic. So the Hulk
is not affected.
The Hulk isn't affected by spells.
Just like if he was like there, Wolverine's brain would like...
It would regenerate, yeah. It would regenerate back in the correct way, yeah. So,
okay, so some people could still remember Peter Parker somehow.
So I wouldn't be surprised if they do a thing one day to where Bruce has the Hulk out and Hulk remembers that.
Hulk remembers and okay. Oh my God, you remember me?
What?
Oh shit. I have a theory for the next 3 Spider-Man movies. I think that they're going to introduce Miles in either the first or the second new Spider-Man movie. But by the 3rd, either Tom Holland's Peter Parker dies and hands over the mantle, or he just like walks off into the sunset or like gets sucked into some like multiverse thing. He somehow is just over at Sony now.
Yeah, so he has to be in Sony purgatory for the rest of his life.
I think that happens in Miles is just the new Spider-Man going forward.
Yeah, I can see Sony and the MCU making out a deal to where it's like you can keep one of the entities, but the other one is just going to be ours exclusively. But see, the hole in what I just said though is the Spider-Man into the multiverse movies.
So I was thinking about that when I was wanting Miles in the MCU. It was like, he's there. Childish Gambino was his uncle, Donald Glover. But as long as, well, everybody ain't like us. Some people might see it's like, oh, that's Miles from Into this one. Like, that's not the same. Not the same. So it might, what if he has a different name or something? Because technically, the guy in the chair, that's technically actually Miles' sidekick, like Genki. But they just call him something else. Okay. Which is weird.
Yeah, but and then I think it's gonna be hard casting Miles in live action too.
Yeah, I think it is as well.
Especially because like we can't use like the nigga that plays Miles, voice actor. That dude is crazy. So like,
wait, what you mean he crazy? What do you do?
Like he just says a bunch of crazy stuff. So like you can't put when you can't put his like voice to his face.
Yeah.
You're not really thinking it's him, but like the general public seeing him will be like, oh nah, this nigga crazy. His name is Shanique.
Oh, I know who Shanique Moore.
That man says some crazy stuff sometimes.
Oh, I'm gonna have to look this up after this.
So they'd be like, oh no, we can't have him as the face of our franchise.
Oh man. I can't think of anybody either, like off the top of my head, to fit that role right now. Hopefully somebody come up. Rising star.
Yeah.
Take over the match.
There'll be some.
Yeah.
Yeah, there'll be somebody. But man, so Spider-Man like broke it. It broke everything open.
Yeah.
And that's how we're going into Multiverse of Madness, how we're going into it now.
Okay, before we get into Multiverse of Madness, I got a question. Do you think all the villains are dead that went back to their timeline, like that were about to die, or did they get put back at a different point? And so like Green Goblin, like the serum's there and everything, and he goes back and he's just like, Peter, wait, I'm sorry, and like, so that changes all of that timeline.
I don't think so.
Not that I think it really matters.
I don't think they're dead because Sandman never died.
Oh yeah, that Sandman never died, and neither did Lizard.
So I don't think they're dead if they weren't supposed to die.
No, I'm specifically talking about Doc Ock
who were supposed to die.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it would be hard for Doc Ock to like go back to where he was.
Like if he goes back to where he is, he's still dead. Gone because he actually snapped out of it and was just like, I'll sacrifice myself.
But at the same time, when you think about Green Goblin, like Norman Osborn had a moment of clarity after he was stabbed through. So you could they could tweak it to say, oh, that was Norman coming back from.
Oh shit!
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
Okay, you blew my mind.
And I just thought about that right then and there. Huh.
So they do still go back and die, but they go back and die a good person.
Yeah.
I hate Marvel.
That's kind of crazy.
Man, boy, you got something between your ears.
Yeah, a little something.
Sound like an old ass man.
Yeah, you sound pretty old, man. Ah, man, this is fun. I feel like we've talked about so much, though.
We have, because the MCU is quite vast.
It is.
All right, last thing. What do you think we're gonna see in Multiverse of Madness? What you want to see? What you don't want to see?
I want that voice to actually be Patrick Stewart. Professor
Yes,
X.
it's gotta be.
It's gotta be. Like
I know that voice in that head.
They wouldn't fuck with us like that.
They would.
But they would.
They would.
And that's what pisses me off. Because they would fuck with us like
bro,
that.
What if they was just like, hey, we just want you to do this. This is gonna be in the trailer. And then it's just like everybody up there is just like some one-off people we're never gonna see again.
I would be so upset.
And they're not like, it's not even like Patrick Stewart. It's just like totally just unknown people
So it's like it's not Patrick Stewart as Professor X. It's just this weird.
It's just a weird guy as Patrick Stewart.
And then it's not Tom Cruise as Superior Iron Man. It's just like just random nigga in a suit.
Just stunt doubles. All of them are just stunt doubles.
I will leave. I know I will already have paid, so it won't matter. I will leave the theater.
Oh shit.
But I don't know, man. I think that the like council of like multiverse keepers or what it's supposed to be the Illuminati. I don't know what they're gonna call them though. But like I think that is a really interesting concept to tackle. And I do think dread-headed Mordo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's just a villain in this. I think he's part of it. I think he's part of the Illuminati.
Okay. I've heard this circulating around. The way he's talking to Doctor Strange seems like he's come to terms with things having to be the way they were. Because it was just like, yo, you broke the rules, but if you wouldn't have, if rules weren't broken, the universe would be like,
right.
Well, the universe is.
But it
would have been even worse.
I honestly think Mordo might have formed the Illuminati, like that Illuminati.
Oh, formed it.
I don't know, but we see a lot of stuff there. We see we see Ultron bots.
Yeah. So is it like the Superior Iron Man or whatever? He actually cracked the code on it.
He might have. He had more technology, you know.
Or somehow they got an Ant-Man in there because in the comics he actually creates.
In the comics, it's a Pym thing, right? Yeah. Ultron.
I think there is a Black Panther up there.
Pretty sure I did see a Panther suit up there.
I feel like there's a Panther suit up there. I wouldn't be mad if it's Michael B. Jordan as a Black Panther. Maybe even in this timeline, he actually is named T'Challa. I wouldn't care.
It did look like a Killmonger suit. Like from
looked like goldish.
Yeah, it looked goldish a little bit. I think Namor will somehow be up there.
Yo, if they put Namor up, putting Namor up there is a great way to like backdoor. Shit.
You can't say that on camera.
Boom. Yeah, they put Namor in there. If they put Namor in there, it's a great way to introduce mutants without them having to explain. Because it's just like he's from another universe, but we know you guys know he's a mutant, which is weird because he's an Atlantean and a mutant.
But then, if that really is Professor X, he will also be a mutant.
Oh yeah, I'm stupid. But we know him though.
But we know him.
Yeah.
We don't really. Namor hasn't been in popular media.
I don't think I have ever seen Namor animated.
I haven't seen him in like the Avengers shows. And like he might be in like a one-off episode, but he's like not a main character in any of those shows.
Not talked about much in like popular culture.
But yeah, man, he's really good in Marvel Contest of Champions.
Earlier you said council. There is a thing in the comics called the Council of Reeds.
There is a Council of Reeds.
And they kind of wild.
There's also a Council of Kangs.
I wonder where they got the idea from. Council of Reeds is crazy. They got like lobotomized Dr. Dooms like in their basement.
That is metal. And that is fire. I love that.
Oh my goodness. Oh yeah, we're gonna get America Forever gotta kick it up. What's that girl name? America Chavez. Getting her some Wanda stuff.
A lot of Mystic stuff, man.
This movie jam-packed.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Man, a month, bro.
I thought Spider-Man was really just going to be the oomph. But then that trailer.
It's like, it's coming, like they're going back. Like, they usually like do a boom.
Boom. And then
it's like
steady. Let's let you simmer. It was just like,
this
boom,
is back to back.
Boom.
Yeah.
And like, after that, I don't think Thor going to be a simmer. Because they're doing Gore the God Butcher.
And Thor's probably gonna have some of the Guardians of the Galaxy in it as well. because they're doing the Asgardians of the Galaxy.
Oh yeah. Jesus. Oh shit! Speaking of Jesus, the Jesus figure in the Guardian stuff. What was his name?
Adam Warlock?
Yeah, Adam Warlock. It's like Marvel Comics Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Is he awake? It's been 5 years. Or longer for him, I don't know.
He might be awake.
So I don't know what he's doing. And then he goes mad with like power and becomes something else. I forgot what it's called. So they got endless possibilities.
So much stuff. So many things they could do, man.
You know, on Facebook the other day, I saw somebody say they felt like the MCU was running out of ideas, and I was just like,
bro, they have they have so much IP to pick from. They could make movies from now probably for the next 50, 75 years.
Because what's crazy is like, you say that after you just saw movies about like C and D tier characters.
Mm-hmm.
They just got back all their A-list characters.
Right, exactly.
Well, except for Spider-Man. It's part of the comics, but the X-Men?
Man, imagine
Fantastic
if
Four.
the MCU could make like a Hulk movie proper.
Bruh, if they could have actually did Planet Hulk, bruh.
That'd have been amazing.
I love that story.
Yeah. I do too.
But if they could have did like Planet Hulk actually like after the Illuminati is formed,
Mm-hmm.
and him come back and just start whooping everybody's ass.
That's one of my favorite stories in all comics.
Man.
I love that story, man. Because, bro, they could not stop that man.
Nope.
That man came back and wanted smoke with everybody. And everybody who wanted smoke back immediately regretted that decision. And it was just amazing.
Yeah. All right. One more month.
1 month, man. Woo. Bro, I'm so excited. I can't wait. Look, I love Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's like her being in the MCU,
Mm-hmm.
but Elizabeth Olsen has been becoming more and more attractive to me with every movie that comes out. And then like through all of her phases in like WandaVision, well, I don't know. I kind of felt like 70. I'm going off on a tangent here. I kind of felt like 70s Wanda was all right. 80s Wanda was top tier.
This man get on my nerve.
90s Wanda was right below 80s Wanda. But then when we got back into the present day, I was just like,
what about when she put the costume on?
nah, that was crazy. But here's the thing, though. If I see Elizabeth Olsen like on a red carpet, this has nothing to do with what we're talking about. If I see Elizabeth Olsen like on a red carpet in some like clothes, I'm just like,
Hey, you have got to be stopped.
bro, I like Scarlet Witch, man.
That's cool, man. It's cool. All right, back on topic real quick before we end. Oh. There's one thing you can get out of Multiverse of Madness. What you want, man?
I want to establish Patrick Stewart as a mainstay in the MCU. I know that is a lofty goal. He's probably going to do this one movie and we're probably going to never see him again.
Uh-huh.
But I would love for him to be a mainstay in the MCU after this movie.
Okay.
How about you?
Yeah, you kind of just took it. I didn't have one. I was going to think of something, but I would like that too.
That would be great, man. I love Professor X. I love Patrick Stewart. Patrick Stewart is the best at any role that he does.
Well, all right. This was the first episode.
The first of many, guys.
Oh, the first of many.
First of many.
You gonna come back?
I'm going to come back.
Actually, this is your house.
I have no choice. This is my house.
All right, well, this was the MCU View. Peace out.
Later.